You think using AI is completely harmless and clean, don't you? You just type a few prompts, and boom, the digital world serves you answers on a silver platter. But behind that flashy screen lies a cold, hard truth that Silicon Valley is desperately trying to sweep under the rug. That's right, your digital wallet might not feel the burn directly, but your planet is paying a steep price. Every single innocent prompt you run is secretly burning real coal somewhere on this earth, turning your digital convenience into a physical catastrophe. We've been hypnotized by beautiful promises of a tech-driven green future. But the reality is, the AI gold rush is dragging us into a massive ecological trap that you are unknowingly financing every single day. Let's do some simple math. Did you know a single AI query devours 10 times more energy than a traditional Google search? 10 times. That's not a minor upgrade, that is an energy-guzzling monster operating under the hood. That immense power doesn't just fall from the sky. To keep these massive language models running smoothly, coal plants are running on overdrive, pumping toxic emissions directly into the air you breathe. Welcome to the world of data centers, the invisible giants of our era. These are colossal, windowless warehouses packed with millions of buzzing servers, running 24/7 with zero breaks just to feed your tech addiction. Inside those gray walls is a deafening, chaotic universe. The roar of cooling fans working overtime to chill millions of processing chips running at peak capacity. This is exactly where our planet's future is being incinerated. Your digital convenience is physically destroying the real world. You might not see smoke coming out of your smartphone, but the power plants feeding its cloud network are belching out tons of carbon dioxide every single second. Let's talk about heat. These supercomputers generate an insane amount of thermal energy. Without constant, aggressive cooling, they would self-combust in minutes. And the way they cool them down is the next ecological nightmare. Data centers are drinking water like a dry throat in the middle of a desert. Billions of gallons of clean water are being sucked out of local rivers and reservoirs every single day just to keep those burning server racks from melting down. You want cold hard numbers? Every time you ask an AI chatbot a simple thread of 25 to 50 questions, you have indirectly poured a 500 milliliters bottle of fresh water down the drain. It sounds tiny, until you multiply it by millions of users. Now imagine billions of searches worldwide daily. We are talking about enough clean water to fill thousands of Olympic-sized swimming pools, evaporated into thin air, just to generate automated corporate emails and funny memes. Now, let's peel back the curtain on the beautiful lies told by tech giants. They proudly boast about sustainability reports and plant-filled ads, painting a green fantasy to keep your guilty conscience completely asleep. Net zero carbon emissions by 2030, that's their absolute favorite marketing buzzword. But in reality, it's nothing more than a creative accounting trick designed to fool the public and keep Wall Street happy. The cold hard truth? Their actual carbon footprint has been skyrocketing at an alarming rate ever since the AI arms race officially kicked off. Those glossy green reports are just smoke and mirrors. Emissions from giants like Microsoft and Google have surged by over 30% in just the last few years. Why? Because they are frantically constructing hundreds of new data centers to avoid losing the AI war. They cover up this destruction by purchasing cheap carbon offsets. It is a legalized shell game where they pay someone else to plant trees, while their own smokestacks keep pumping carbon into your lungs. You simply cannot plant enough trees to offset this digital hyperconsumption. Growing a forest takes decades, but training a brand new AI model takes only weeks to burn through the exact same energy budget. And guess where these colossal warehouses are actually popping up? Right in your own backyard, next to quiet, unsuspecting neighborhoods, swallowing valuable land and draining local community resources dry. Take a look at Northern Virginia, the data center capital of the entire world. Over 70% of global internet traffic flows through this area daily, slowly transforming beautiful landscapes into an industrial concrete desert. The local power grid is literally bucking under the weight of AI's energy demands. The surge in electricity consumption is happening so fast that utility grids are facing imminent threats of massive blackouts. To keep the AI beast fed, states are actually reviving old, dirty coal-fired power plants that were scheduled to shut down. We are taking giant steps backward in our global efforts to protect the environment. And who is footed with the bill for this madness? You are. Utility companies are quietly raising residential electricity rates on everyday families to fund the grid upgrades required by big tech. Tech giants secure ultra-cheap wholesale power rates through backroom corporate deals, leaving you to pay premium prices for the exact same electricity. Talk about an absolutely raw deal. Take a look at drought-stricken regions like Arizona. Where fresh water is more precious than gold, massive data centers are still being built, draining millions of gallons of underground water every day. They are in direct competition for water with local farmers who grow your food. When the water table drops, food prices go up, and guess who is forced to swallow that extra cost? You. This is a literal modern-day gold rush where the environment is treated as mere collateral damage. But this damage is building up like a ticking time bomb, waiting to explode. Now let's look under the hood of those supercomputers, the ultra-powerful GPU chips. Manufacturing just one of these silicon masterpieces requires a devastatingly toxic production process. Chip manufacturing requires what is known as ultra-pure water, thousands of times cleaner than the water you drink. Millions of gallons of clean water are stripped of minerals and discarded after washing chips. Consider TSMC, the Taiwanese chip manufacturing giant. Their daily water consumption is so astronomical that it has triggered severe water shortage warnings across the entire island during dry seasons. And let's not forget the mining of rare earth metals. The essential elements required for high-tech components are being ripped out of the ground under horrific ecological and humanitarian conditions. An AI chip's carbon debt is already massive before it's plugged in for the very first time. This upfront ecological mortgage is a heavy burden that our planet is forced to carry from day one. Then comes the toxic nightmare of e-waste. This expensive, cutting-edge hardware has an incredibly short shelf life. It gets thrown away to make room for faster, shinier replacements. Every couple of years, entire server farms are completely gutted and upgraded. The old components, dripping with hazardous heavy metals, end up leaching toxic chemicals into the soil and water tables. The pace of obsolescence is accelerating faster than we can handle. We are creating massive mountains of digital trash that the Earth cannot decompose for centuries to come. The desperate fear of missing out is driving corporate boardrooms completely mad. Every business, from finance to retail, is aggressively pushing AI integrations they don't even actually need. Do we really need an AI-powered smart toaster to optimize our breakfast toast? Absolutely not. But corporate executives don't care, prioritizing trendy features over physical planetary resource costs. Training a single state-of-the-art AI model consumes an astronomical amount of electrical energy. It is not some peaceful digital study session, it is a literal electricity slaughterhouse. To train GPT-3, experts estimate it consumed enough energy to power a car drive all the way to the moon and back. Just try to wrap your head around that massive cloud of carbon exhaust. And GPT-4 is exponentially worse. AI models are getting bigger, more complex, and vastly more resource-heavy. We are building a modern Tower of Babel out of coal fire and digital waste. Remember Jevons paradox in economics. When technology makes resource consumption more efficient, we don't use less of it, instead, we end up consuming exponentially more of it. We aren't saving the world with AI, we are only accelerating its consumption. We are trading lush forests and fresh water tables for algorithms that generate automatic junk text. They say, don't worry, AI will solve climate change. What an absolute joke. How can you cure a bleeding wound by stabbing it deeper with high-voltage fossil fuels? Long before AI can calculate a magical solution to save our planet, it will have incinerated our final remaining physical resource reserves to power trivial web searches. Do we really want to sacrifice the survival of future generations for an automated email writer? That is the ultimate heavy question you must ask yourself right now. But you don't have to surrender to this digital machine. We can choose to rebel against this eco-trap by taking back control of our own daily digital footprint starting today. Start by demanding absolute corporate transparency. We have every right to force big tech to reveal the real water and energy costs associated with every single model they deploy. Prioritize efficient, local open-source AI models that run directly on your own hardware, instead of constantly pinging massive energy-intensive cloud networks. We must pressure regulators to force tech giants to pay their fair share of environmental taxes, rather than passing the buck onto local taxpayers. If you want to keep cutting through the greenwash noise and uncover how the financial matrix really operates, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's stay unplugged together.